What's up, guys? Welcome to the Real Local People podcast. We are back today with kind of a returning guest, but he wasn't really on the podcast the first time. We just kind of did a short interview with him, but I wanted to get him into the hot seat and talk to Kyle Craig, who is the owner of Foundation Home Loans, has done a lot of other entrepreneurial type things in his life. So, Kyle, what's going on, man?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm swell. I get to talk to you every day, so this is fun to do it officially, I suppose.
Yeah, but it's always fun to try to make conversation as if we never talk to each other. It's kind of like talking to my mom, who I already know everything about.
Yeah, right.
Asking questions, but anyway, we always kind of start these things with just like, how do we get to this point? So this point, to me, your Foundation Home Loans owner, very successful company. We've been through some ups and downs, I know, but we're here now, and just wanted to hear how you got here.
Well, you said that I had the entrepreneurial spirit, and that makes me laugh. My mom was telling this story again the other day. It was like career day or something back in the day, and we were supposed to come up with what we wanted to do, and I couldn't come up with it, and I was like, I just want to own my own business, and she's like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, have my own business. Yeah. Obviously.
It does. That sounds crazy at that age. Sounds so broad. But I mean, really, at the end of the day, sometimes it doesn't even matter what the business is. Like, you just want to do it.
Yeah.
Building things.
I'd like to hustle. I illegally sold baseball cards in elementary school.
Glad you went with baseball cards. I thought that was going down a very different path.
No, I was a boring boy.
Yeah.
But no, baseball cards and side hustles and working on a farm and digging holes and moving dirt, whatever I could do. And then kind of got into the photography side of things after college, and we had that business for 7 or 8 years. It's still rolling now, just without me. They're probably doing better without me. And we started Foundation in February of last year, so we're 15, 16 months in, I guess, now.
It's crazy that it's been that long already.
It is. It's very, very weird. Yeah. I've been in this business for 8 years, and sometimes it feels like we started this yesterday, and sometimes it feels like this is where I've always been. It's weird. Right.
So you skipped over some stuff there. I think you did play college baseball. So I wanted to hear a little bit about that.
Briefly.
you roll your eyes, but yeah, you were a collegiate athlete. So in my mind, that's something to talk about, because I wasn't even a high school athlete. So tell us a little bit about that time.
I think that I haven't verified this, but I might be the only NAIA college pitcher in the history of NAIA to get college NAIA pitcher of the week or conference pitcher of the week, whatever it was, and then not pitch again for like a month. Tough to do, yeah. But
why didn't you pitch again for a month after that?
I guess they didn't like me.
So it's coach's decision then.
No, I enjoyed my time there. In reality, I was good. I was a very fierce competitor. As you know, I'm still very competitive. That doesn't go away. No. But
I thought you were going to tell me you were the only guy to ever take off your skate and try to stab somebody with it.
That too. Yeah. I thought I was better than I was, to be honest with you. Like, I went to a small school, and I was 2-time conference player of the year, and I was all-state my senior year, and like I was pretty well accomplished, but I was playing, small school baseball.
Yeah.
And I was used to being the best player on every team that I was ever on. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden I got there, and it's like, I remember the first day of not even practice, but just like intro with coach. And he's like, who here played shortstop? Half the guys raised their hand. Who here pitched? Everybody raised their hand. Right. Who here played center field? The other half the guys raised their hand. He's like, great. Now we've established that we were all awesome. Now nobody has work on it, and that's kind of how it was. So I enjoyed my time. To be honest, it just, I knew that the end was going to come, and I always heard that the ball stops rolling eventually for everybody, and if you can be in charge of when that happens, then you're set. So nobody told me to quit. It's just I was a 5'10" righty that threw 88. Like, I wasn't going pro. I wanted to go make some money.
Was there ever a time that you thought it would be that you would take it further than college?
Oh yeah, definitely. When I was about 14.
Yeah.
We were playing in a tournament. I was playing in a 18U team. I think I was 15 at the time. And I got into the game, I don't know, probably 5th or 6th game into the season. And I go up to bat, and there's a kid going to Vandy on the bump. And first pitch was 97. And I said, you can throw one now. And he's like, I already did, strike one. Yeah. And then there was 2 more, and I didn't see those either. And I think it might have been that moment where I was like, boy, not sure this is going to work out for me.
It's crazy now, man. It's gotten so crazy with, like you said, with velocity. I mean, if you can't throw the ball 95 plus, it's tough to make it.
Yeah. The Greg Maddoxes of the world. I think it's a shame, and not that I'm Greg Maddox at all, but like, a guy that's throwing 92, 93, it's like he would be buried in AA at this point.
Won't even get a chance.
Yeah. He doesn't exist.
So college baseball, what did you go to college for?
Business. Well, I think I started education for like 5 minutes and then I switched. Gotcha. And it was marketing and management. Double major, I guess, whatever it is.
Straight out of college, what did you start off doing? Did you try to go into corporate America or do anything normal before starting businesses?
I had several interviews, and I ended up honestly taking what was kind of my last pick because I didn't know anything about real estate, but I ended up in working for a real estate team and a builder because they were the ones that would give me more vacation time. At the time, I was coaching baseball. After I got done playing, I coached for 5 years, I guess, high school baseball. Really enjoyed it. I didn't have kids. I wasn't married. I had all the time in the world. And it was like, I don't need vacation days. I need to leave at 3:00. So It's like, how many 3:00 days can you give me? Yeah. How many weekend tournaments can I sneak out on a Friday? So that's why I took it. And like I said, I didn't know anything about it. I was like, nothing is kind of my throwaway job. I had a couple other sales job offers, but it was on the road. So I took it, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
It was taking that. I did that job
kind of opened up that whole world of real estate.
Yeah. And I think that is, I grew up with a lot of business owners in my family, but I was a kid and I didn't ask the right questions. I just kind of knew that it existed. Maybe that's why I said I wanted to own my own business, because a lot of my family members did. Right. But I grew up middle class, and mom and dad, they went to work and they had their 401k and they had their W-2s, and like, we didn't struggle, but we weren't rich. And then it's like, you get into real estate and it's like you meet the first real life millionaire you've ever met. And then you meet the guy that, making $200,000 or $300,000 in a year, and not just real estate agents, but just like exposing yourself to way more people, right, like we get to in this world. And it was, people with more flexibility, people that can be with their kids more. And again, I was a kid, I was 22, but I knew I wanted kids, but it was like this whole world that's not 9 to 5. That's not this rigid schedule. And I was like, this is all right. We can do this,
Well, and I think I found out too that, there are different people out there. There's people who absolutely love the 9 to 5 because they want to be able to go to work from 9 to 5 and then leave at 5:00 and not think about it until tomorrow at 9:00 and move on. And real estate is awesome that way. Like you said, I always tell people I'm kind of always working, but I'm never working because we could probably leave here right now and go catch 9 holes of golf if we wanted to. But at the same time, while we're playing that 9 holes of golf, we might get a call we got to take while it's going on. You might be on the beach taking that call. So you're kind of always working in that sense. And some people absolutely hate that. Yeah. And they'd rather just have the 9 to 5 and work when you got to work. Yeah.
That's my wife. She, it would drive her crazy. Like she was an ICU nurse for 8 years. She's been a nurse practitioner in immediate care centers for 5. And she's like, I love it because I go work my 12 hours and I clock out, and I don't have to look at it. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to touch it. I don't have to do anything with it until the moment I clock back in a few days later.
Unless it's me calling her to ask her if I have like a sinus infection.
And every time, no, you don't have a sinus infection. Just drink water every time.
Yeah, exactly. There's no easy answer to that. I just want an antibiotic.
So does everybody else.
Yeah. So I know, so you did that for a little while, and I know your big jump in was this photography business. How did you end up moving into that?
Faking it. Yeah. I did the marketing manager, whatever, for the real estate team and builder for 9 months. And they told me, kind of like not pitching for a month after the player of the week, that maybe it wasn't for me. And I agreed because I didn't like it. I just wasn't going to quit. I'm not a quitter. I knew that it wasn't for me, but I couldn't quit. It was my first big boy job,
Right.
But part of that job was taking photos, and I was just taking them with like a little point and shoot dude. And I was hiring out the actual photographers to take the bigger listings. And I grew up kind of around cameras and everything. And I was like, all right, I'm leaving here. I don't really know what I'm going to do, but I don't have any bills. I was still living at home at the time. I'm debt free. I've got a little money in the bank. Let's try something. So I made a couple calls to some friends. They were like, sure, try it. And I was practicing at my parents' house the night before that I shot the first house that I told everybody that I was a photographer, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
But just a lot of trial and error, man. A lot of staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning, editing and shooting and working on it, and just figuring it out. And I give a lot of credit to Mitch Prout, my partner who still runs Diamond Home Imaging. He taught me how to be a photographer, and I think I taught him some of the service aspect that you and I learned together at Samtech, where it's service. And that was my job in college, I guess, skipping back for a moment. But we really leaned on each other. He came from a CPA background. I came from a service background. He knew photos, and I knew how to talk to people and service them. And that's just how it built.
Yeah, that's kind of a good point. That's something I learned at Samtech as well, is that a lot of times you don't have to have a completely different idea than somebody else to get started. You just maybe have to do it a little bit differently. It's like Samtech, they do the same thing. I mean, a lot bigger companies do, and probably for a lot cheaper, or definitely for a lot cheaper, but they just offer faster service. You know, you can get samples in 24 hours. You can get lead times down to a couple days compared to a month, so they're not doing anything different. They just took an aspect of that and made it a little bit different, which is kind of what you guys did with the photography thing. I mean, there's a lot of photographers out there. You just kind of got yourself into a sector and did it a little bit differently.
Yeah, I think, and credit to Sam Shine and John, who then took over for seeing the immediate world, I think, before it existed. Because now, if you tell me I need to wait 2 days to do anything, I'm just going to call somebody else because they're going to do it faster.
Yeah.
Samtech was doing that 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's, we adopted those principles into the photography business, where it's getting the e-key boxes. It costs $200 a year.
Yeah.
And it's valuable to you as an agent, because then I can tell you, hey, I can pop in there. You don't have to meet me. Sellers don't have to leave work.
Yeah.
And nobody was doing that.
Right.
And then we were next day delivery. So if I shoot a house at 3:00 in this afternoon, I'm going to have it to you by 10 in the morning the next day. You can list it. Nobody was doing that. That's where we went from faking it until we made it with a handful of agents to, like, once we really got going, like, we grew quickly to 200-300 agents that we were working with within a year and a half's time.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah, that's saying something. Did you realize at the time how you were setting yourself up for your current career in terms of, like, building relationships with agents and stuff?
No.
Because looking back on it, you have to recognize now, I mean, it was the perfect job to move into that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you probably had more contacts with agents than, anybody. It's the perfect segue into it.
Yeah, that's, my former boss, mentor, guy that got me into it, Jason, he had reached out, and we were kind of co-marketing some things. Like, I was marketing photos, and then he was trying to help some for sale by owner people get more exposure. He's trying to get buyers out of that. He's a mortgage guy. Well, he ends up reaching out, and he's like, hey, you got an knack for this, and you know a lot of people. You ever thought about being an LO? And I'm like, no, I don't even know what that is.
Right.
Like, I thought you went to the bank.
Yeah.
And then you wait 6 months, and then they give you money.
Right.
So he's the one that kind of got me into it, and I pushed it off forever and ever and ever. And I was like, it's not for me. Those people they wear suits and ties, and they're stodgy, and I don't want it. But just the more people that I met and the more I was around it, it ended up being an opportunity that presented itself. And I started, I guess, the year before that I got married. But I knew I was getting married. I knew we were having kids. I knew that I was driving 35,000 miles a year. I was gone 10 to 12 hours a day. Like, that's not the parents that I had, and that's not the parents that I wanted to be.
Right.
So honestly, it was kind of I'll try it because it's convenient. Like, I loved photos. I thought that was going to be what I was going to do till I'm wheeling around a house in a wheelchair doing it. But it wasn't. Just evolving and changing all the time, I guess.
So do you think that I know you've got a real knack for networking in general. Do you think that you learned that through the photo business, or do you think that's what helped build the photo business?
I think that's what helped build it. I mean, I came from a large family. My mom is one of 12 kids. I'm an only child. Well, I have a half sister, but we didn't grow up together. Yeah. But my mom is one of 12 children. And I got pretty used to knowing everybody, and I'm an only child hanging out with my parents who were 35 and 40 when they had me. I grew up with 40 and 50-year-olds. Yeah. And that's who I was talking to. I didn't have siblings to talk to. I had my cousins, but it was mostly like, I'm growing up with older people. I'm around a lot of people. I had to be heard. I had to be noticed, because I'm a kid. And like, that's what built the personality. And it's like, I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. What's the worst you're going to tell me? No. You hate me? I'm weird? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll move on to the next person.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So that we skimmed past, you used the term LO a couple times. So you want to explain to people who might not know what that is? Like,
Sorry.
what are you saying when you say LO?
We have a lot of acronyms in this business. Loan originator or loan officer, as some people call us, but I don't have a badge, so I say originator.
What's different about you? I guess it's not different about an LO in particular. It's more about a mortgage broker as opposed to working with a bank. Talk a little bit about what's, why use a mortgage broker instead of a bank.
I think banks, one, we were talking about the 9 to 5 people earlier. Not all bank people are that way, but I probably would be if I was a bank LO.
Yeah.
I have a salary. I'm getting a small override on whatever business I generate, and I'm 9 to 5, and on the nights and weekends, I'm not an LO. That's for them. Also, they're shopping from a smaller pool of products and pricing because they work for ABC Bank. We work for the customer, and we have 15 to 20 different lenders that we can go to.
Yeah.
And whether, the customer may be a tricky scenario, it may be a LLC purchasing, it may be high credit, low credit, high loan amount, low loan amount, whatever. We have all these different channels that we can go to who we know is good at what. So it's not even necessarily all about price. It's not all about service. It's about the experience as a whole that we can cater you and your specific scenario, because no two are the same to wherever that needs to go to give you a positive experience.
Yeah. The thing, and I obviously, as a realtor, I ask you that question knowing the answer myself. And the answer for me is, yes, everything you said there is true. But to me, the biggest thing is when I have somebody calls me at 6 o'clock on a Friday evening and they need a pre-approval because they're going to look at a house tonight. We got to put in an offer in immediately. If I call you, good chance I could have that pre-approval within an hour or two.
Yeah.
If I want to call a bank, like you said, I'm not saying that against all banks, but a lot of times they walk out of there at 5 o'clock on a Friday evening and you're not going to get anything back until Monday morning. And you might miss out on that house because of that. So that's the biggest thing for me. So tell me then a little bit about Foundation Home Loans. I want to hear your elevator pitch. If you're recruiting a, well, we'll take this from two different angles.
Okay.
So number one, if I'm a home buyer and I'm looking to get a loan, what's your pitch to come to Foundation?
My pitch, people ask me that all the time of why I should use you instead of my bank or whatever. And I say, one, call me Saturday. And they're like, what? I'm like, no, that's it. Call me Saturday. I bet I answer.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I'll text you, hey, my kid's napping on me.
Yep.
What's up? I'll call you in 30 minutes. I think, like you said, it's the service factor. It's the we get paid when we close loans, and we are motivated to do so. We have the ability to shop different lenders. We have the ability that, if maybe one lender is a little bit more picky than the other and they deny an application for some reason, we've got 20 other options we can go to try that again, to talk to other underwriters, to talk to other account execs. Guidelines are guidelines, but they're not rigid. There's a lot of subjectivity in guidelines, and having that ability to just not shut somebody down is huge for that customer, especially if they're a tricky buyer. So it's the flexibility, it's the service, it's the pricing, it's everything that I would tell a customer of why they should come to us, because we are more motivated than what you're probably going to find anywhere else.
Gotcha. I agree with all that. But the one thing I'd add to it is if you're somebody who wants to enjoy this process, because I don't think it always has to be so black and white and rigid and let's go talk business all the time. I think Foundation, all you guys around here are really good at making it a fun process too. So, and I think the same thing goes for which the other side of the coin I was going to ask about as far as an elevator pitch is if I'm an LO and you want me to come sell loans with you, what's your elevator pitch to me? Because where I was leading with that is it's fun. It's a fun place to be. You know what I mean? So giving you your elevator pitch for you, but what?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think we have a tremendous group of people. I think that we have a lot of really family oriented people. We have people that genuinely love and respect and care about one another. We're all at each other's kids' birthday parties. We're at each other's different life events. It's a constant stream of a group text and in real life a group conversation about guidelines and products and family and friends and whatever. And it's wide open. We're not walled in. We're not stodgy. We do a lot for each other. We do a lot for our customers. We do a lot for the community. I think if that's something that people care about, then this is the place for them, because we are involved with where we are all the time with the people we're involved with.
Yeah. So how, if I'm a buyer or a loan officer, how do I find out more about Foundation Home Loans, or like where should I go to start?
Well, I would say call me for one, 502-762-4384. Call me, but then check out our Facebook. Faith, who's sitting right over there that you can't see, viewers, she's tremendous. She has helped us revamp our marketing a lot, and I think our personality really shines through there. And then there's also some product guidelines and more of the boring stuff. We do know what we're doing. We just like to smile and laugh while we're doing it. But if you want to see our culture, go there. If you want the nuts and bolts and the money and the options, call me.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. If you're a fan of The Office, then definitely get on their social media. We're going to have lots of remakes. But it really does. It just gives you it gives a really good tone, and that's not just made up stuff. You guys didn't just smile on a camera for 10 minutes to make a video. Like, it's the general culture around this place. And I can say that because the studio we're sitting in right now is in the middle of the Foundation Home Loans office, and so I'm here a lot and see it. So
I think sorry to cut you off just for a moment. I think our biggest thing is our motivation, me and Ben and Ronnie, my partners, and really everybody has adopted this, is we're trying to create a place that we have not experienced in the past. Mm-hmm. Everybody here came from somewhere else. Some of them came from different banks, different broker shops, different jobs altogether. Everybody came from somewhere else, and they're all still here for a reason. Mm-hmm. We want to create a happy, healthy learning environment that's respectful, loving, caring, happy, everything about it. It's not something that a lot of us have been able to experience in the past, and that's something that's at the forefront of my brain and partners and employees' brains all the time, is to just foster that environment for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before we wrap this up, I want to do a little, and I've done this with like 4 people, but I forget to do it at the end every single time. Okay. But it's our final segment. We got 2 questions for you, and because this is a local show, this is all about Southern Indiana and Louisville, I try to make the questions more locally based. If you got to go out to eat somewhere locally tonight, where are you going? And I don't want to hear Olive Garden. I want to hear like a locally owned, something that you can only get in Southern Indiana.
If it's a date night with Kelly, we're going to Borden U probably.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it's downtown New Albany. They've got like kind of the garage door open up, outdoor seating. That's nice. It's not cheap, but it's not expensive. It's good, like really good food for a mid-level price. That's like our go-to date spot anymore. Yeah. Is that if we're going with the kids, we're going to Tumbleweed or Cluckers because they like it and they get the color.
Kids eat free on Tuesdays. Yeah. No, I Borden U, I couldn't agree more. That's actually one I forget about that one a lot of times for some reason, but it is really good. Second question, if you're just looking for something fun and reasonably priced to do, where are you going?
Golf course. Hey, that's
a good answer. That's a good answer. Reasonably priced, might not be.
Hey, no, I mean, hobby-wise, I don't have a lot of hobbies anymore. We got 3 little kids. The playground out in Corden, I don't know if you've ever been out there. It's awesome. It's like the greatest playground I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. The one at Hammersmith Park in New Albany too is pretty cool. I mean, that's kind of our go-to with the kids is go there, go to Sig's, go to Malibu Jack's over in Louisville. Yep. But
Malibu Jack's might not meet the reasonably priced one. It's like $4 to play a video game.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if you spend $100, you can get like a pretty sick sticky hand at the end. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. Only if you're good at the games, though.
Yeah. Oh no. When we go there with the kids, it drives me crazy because obviously I'm a numbers person and a money person, and the kids are like, "Let's go play this that doesn't give us any tickets that cost $5," and I'm over like, "What's the game that I'm the best at that gives me 60 tickets every time?" I will run my wallet into the ground. So I can win them a prize right here because it's good. It's good value.
That's the competitive side of you.
Definitely.
Kyle, I appreciate you coming on, man. Again, might have you back at some point when you're doing something different. You know,
I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but this is working out for now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my little pitch at the end of this, again, we give you guys as much information as we can. We make money by selling real estate. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in Southern Indiana or Louisville, give us a ring. Facebook, social medias, wherever, get in touch with us. We'd love to help. So, Kyle, once again,
thanks, Steve.